Paris Fashion Week for women's wear, Milan Fashion Week for menswear, London Fashion Week for new designers, and then New York. They have a princess cooler. We'll give her that.
Why is New York Fashion Week so much less exciting than Paris Fashion Week? I wrote about this in a lot more depth in the Barefaced newsletter, but the crux of it can be explained by this Google Trends data, where if we look at the interest in the search topic for New York Fashion Week over the last 10 years, the decline's obvious, but what's more interesting is these spike patterns. See how steep they are? So there's a really big one each year for spring, summer, and then a smaller one from autumn, winter. But there's effectively nothing in between. And now in 2024, those spikes are a lot smaller, but there's still nothing in between. This is how fashion weeks were originally intended. Concentrated moments where media attention was meticulously organised around designers unveiling new collections. The absence of attention between these peaks was intentional. Fashion Week would set the tone for the entire season, with trends and pop culture evolving in their wake. But if we compare the search volume of New York Fashion Week in blue compared to Paris Fashion Week in red, we see a very, very different pattern. The first thing to note is how the interest in Paris Fashion Week is overtaking New York Fashion Week. But the more significant difference is how that trend line fluctuates. It doesn't have these giant peaks the way that New York does. That's because Paris Fashion Week is based around couture, fashion for fashion's sake, if you will. So brands that are producing couture shows have to have significant commercial success in order to fund that, which for many brands makes couture a marketing activity. For many of these brands, couture serves primarily as a powerful marketing tool, generating enough revenue to support additional shows throughout the year. Although these shows are actually rarely held in Paris, it keeps that trend line alive. Not to mention that the extravagance of couture can't really be replicated elsewhere because, again, it costs so much to produce. So that type of fashion is actually able to cut through the social media noise that we've grown so used to compared to the bigger brands that are showing at New York Fashion Week. If you want to understand how brands are responding to this, then be sure to check out the newsletter linked in bio.